Yeah, it's interesting. My whole career, along with Michelle Wilson, my co-founder, we've been corporate operators. And after working together for 12 years at WWE, we decided we're going to start something. And I had somebody tell me a long time ago, everybody's motivated to different degrees, but motivated by one of three things: heart, mind, wallet. And for us, in this case, this is an amazing asset class, sports, and we think it's going to have significant growth. So that's the wallet part. The mind is, we've just spent the last 12 years building one of the most successful, if not the most successful, sports business in the world at WWE. And people know we did because we're a public company. So that's the mind. It gives you something you can sink your teeth in. And then the heart part, we said, wouldn't it be great? It's our firm. We'll put our skin in the game, right? 100%. We'll be role models. There's not a lot of investment firms run by a Latino kid from the inner city and a woman, 100% owned. And we're going to give back our a portion of the profits to a lot of the causes we care about. So we said, come on, what's better than doing that together? So, and I always say I'm lucky. I think she feels the same way. Is when you've spent that long working together, there's a trust and respect that forms, and so all of that is why. And by the way, in case you're interested, Isos is the Greek word for equal, right? So we said that's one of the things that was important to us, this kind of, equal partnership, how we see the world, so that's where the name came from. It's an emerging asset class, and so it's early days. When you look at the long-term value, we just think sports, because of what's happening in the world, is going to do disproportionately better than any other piece of content that gets created. So when we talk about what's happening in the world, you have 2.5, 3 billion people over the next 5 years who are going to access the internet for the first time. So the first time they will have access to everything that we've now become accustomed to. But there's still 40% of the world that doesn't have that access. That's going to create a massive new fan base opportunity. So sports benefits from that, like a lot of content benefits from that. What makes sports especially interesting, though, is as more and more content gets created, in some ways, each individual piece of content gets more and more commoditized because there's so much. Sports is the only thing in the world that can bring tens of millions of people together at one point in time and get excited about what they're watching real time. It's the only thing. So in a strange way, the more and more fragmentation you get, which usually you'd say, well, that's not good. For sports, we actually think it's going to be really, really good. So you've got this from an investment standpoint, early days and investing in the asset, and from a growth standpoint, sports is going to do disproportionately better than any of the players in the media and entertainment ecosystem on a global basis too. Sports betting, gaming is misunderstood. We think people look at it and say, oh my God, yeah, there's going to be more and more betting. They're right. That's going to happen, especially as the U.S., state by state allows it. But we think the really interesting thing there is not about how much money is being bet. That's interesting. It's how much more time and engagement in sports that's going to drive, especially among more casual fans. So we think what you will see is more people spending even more time engaged in sports because they now have this kind of, second, not only are their emotions in play, their fandom, but now they're able to, wager with their friends, wager with strangers, however, you get a little bit more skin in the game.